Hello, I'm Emelie Tolley. Welcome to Life with Herbs. Whenever I have some extra time, I like to take the lavender from the garden and turn it into sensuous lavender soap. Making soap from scratch can really be a time-consuming process and potentially dangerous. And since I'm very short on patience, I prefer to just order the ingredients and melt them down. You can order opaque glycerin or clear glycerin, which I like to use because you can embed lavender or other herbs in it and see them when the soap is finished. Or you can order Castile soap shredded. I got this from a soap supplier on the net. Then you can add your own oils and essences and other additives to make it your own special soap. To make lavender soap, start with a very strong infusion of lavender flowers. Use 1/4 cup of lavender flowers and a cup of water. Simmer them together tightly covered for about 10 minutes and then let it steep overnight. In the morning, we're going to strain the infusion. I like to use a coffee filter in order to get all the little pieces out. I've cut up the glycerin into small pieces so that it will melt more easily. And I put it on very low heat. Then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of this lavender infusion. Give it a little lavender scent. Now is the time, too, to add some olive oil or almond oil to make the soap even richer and nicer for your skin. I'm going to use almond oil today, and I think about a tablespoon or a little over of a tablespoon should be good. And if you're going to color the soap, this is the time when you should add the colorant. You can buy this soap colorant, or you can use natural mineral powders or spices like paprika or cinnamon, depending upon what color you want. Since we want lavender, we're going to use a colorant. And you can use as much or as little as you want, depending upon how deep you want the soap. Just keep stirring until the glycerin is completely melted and has blended with the oil and the infusion. Then set it aside a little bit because you don't want to add the essential oil of lavender while it's hot because the heat will cause the lavender oil to evaporate. Also, once it solidifies a little bit, you can stir in the oatmeal and it will stay suspended. You can see that this has gotten quite hard now. This is just a little thing on top. Underneath it's still quite liquid. But that coating on top signifies that it's cool enough to stir in your herbs or oatmeal or whatever you want to add. I'm just going to put in a few drops of essence of lavender to heighten the scent. And then we'll add some steel-cut oatmeal. You can't use the instant kind because all you'll end up with is mush. But the steel cut is also just a little bit thick and grainy, so I always take some and make it finer in this blender. And then maybe stir in about maybe 1/2 cup. If the soap is thick enough before you add the oatmeal will stay suspended all through the soap. So now let's pour this into molds. You can use just a used milk carton or a tuna fish carton or whatever you want. Just grease them lightly with vegetable oil. But I like to use these soap molds. And these have already been greased a little bit. And so we'll just pour this in. One of the things I love about glycerin soap is that it hardens very quickly. And for someone with no patience like me, that's a great boon. In about 2 hours, this should be ready to take out of the mold. And if you want to hurry it along even more, you can set the whole mold in the refrigerator, and in a 1/2 hour, it will be ready. It will be ready to come out of the mold, but it will not be ready to use. You need to age it for about 2 weeks.